Time to move the first pawn.
Pawns. Pawns. Pawns! Pawns are the power of the position. And in today's video, I want to show you such power that they can have. They can move forward once, they can move forward twice, and they attack diagonally. This pawn can go forward, now they cannot go forward. So this pawn will go forward. And I'll push, and he can take. I do this, I deny him the chance to do this right here and right now, so he has the one chance to en passant and take my pawn. I take back, he moves a pawn, I'll move a pawn, he moves a pawn, trade, trade, I move a pawn, he can't move it, he moves a pawn, I've got 4 little pawns left, he's got 5. But without anything to protect the pawns, they just like take each other and they're off the board. And hopefully one can get promoted to get to the end and get into a different piece. They're always protecting the king, and you want to go use your pawns to go get the king. Oh, I guess that one can move there. If I can get here, let's see, he moves this one. It's too far away to en passant. If I can get here, cause check. King moves away. The pawn can finally get to the back rank and promote into a queen, a rook, a bishop, or a knight. It's no longer a pawn. That's the power of pawns. If you can get them all the way across, you can get into one of your pieces back. So let's talk about pawn structure. If you have something like that, this pawn protects this pawn, but is not protected. This pawn protects this pawn, but it doesn't protect anything. To do something like this pawn protects this pawn, this pawn protects this pawn, this pawn protects this pawn, this pawn attacks stuff. That's kind of what you want. You want a pawn chain. Now, if you have just this pawn, and this pawn, you have 1, 2, and 3 islands of pawns. This pawn cannot get supported by this one and vice versa, but these pawns can support each other. Slowly as they go forward, they can support each other. When they're not connected, they're isolated and become little pawn islands. You want to keep them all together. Try and get everything up there toward your opponent. Try and keep them all together, protecting each other. Now, most normal games will start with a pawn, and then the other one pushes the pawn in front of it. And then people go and trade pawns. They try and get pawn protection. They get all crazy sorts of stuff. So that, this, protect, protect, come up, stop me, protect it, come up and try to do that, take, take back. These are a little isolated, so they will go and like fight each other. Now none of them can move. Take, broke through the pawn wall. Now nothing is in front of it. It's basically a passed pawn. If it can get to, if I move my king, my king can take it. Didn't quite get to the back rank to get promoted. But if I'm too far away, I move. It can get promoted just like this one can. Get to the other side of the board, get promoted. The main idea for pawns. Now, pawns protect your pieces. Your knights can get in front of them and whatnot, but they protect the pieces from behind. So you actually have to move a pawn to allow any of your pieces out. You have to move a pawn first. So if you move a pawn, you gotta sort of slowly get your pieces out, protected by your pawns. Have your pieces protect your pawns as they get pushed out there to attack. Now, the end game, the pawns are the most valuable because if all the pieces have been traded, then you can go and get one of them back and perhaps win the game. So let's say it's just the kings moving around in whatever square. you need to be able to try and still be able to cause a checkmate. So they get your king across the board. You can get your pawn in front of the king like this. The king cannot go to here or here because he would get taken by the pawn. This is the main thing that they do. Trap the king a little bit. I got it to here. Let's say he moves. What you want to end up doing is getting, let's move this over here. If I can get this in here, bam, attack the king, protected by a pawn, protected by the king. This pawn now attacks here and here, so the king can only go here, can't go here because of that pawn, so he can go here. So if you can force the king away, you can get promoted. If the king goes here, you end up having to get something else to make the king move. Right now, that would be a stalemate. If he can move anything down here, king can't move, king can't be next to each other, king can't take. This would be a stalemate position if this was off the board. You don't want to get to that position. You want to keep stuff going before that happens. So when you do a pawn push like that, you got to make sure that the king can't go there. So if he was to finally promote and get his queen back, I could cause check. In this position, he can't go and block in front of it, can't go here, he has to go here, and then I can get my queen back and promote. And because he's this, he has to come off with a square. Endgame. Now, pawns create structure. Like, this is a small little thing. So bishops can't hit this because this is blocking the king and this is blocking, and if something takes this, then this takes or this takes. So let's go with, well, French defense kind of thing if this comes up. If not, a big pawn wall. Go there. Let's say he doesn't take me. Oh, look at that. Okay, so in something like this, I can't move forward, but I can take. I can't move forward, but I can take. These are tricky pawn situations like this because of one thing and then one thing. If there's an open file, maybe if I take, he takes, and then I take, and it's not an open file, the four pawns looking at each other is a really complicated position. Maybe that might have happened. So see, it is that when I push, he pushes, I push, he pushes, I push. Now there's a huge pawn wall and no more pawns can move and the pawns can't take each other. This is a seriously closed position. People now need to have a piece to go and take to break pawn chain open and hopefully get some sort of advantage once something can move. So once there's a pawn wall, you got to create a pawn wall break. Find something to sacrifice on the right square to be able to get through the pawn wall. Now in this position, my king can come here, but I can't come here. I can't come here. His king can't come through here because there's these squares. So in this position, it would also be a bit of a stalemate because the kings can't get to each other. Kings can't take. I could take that. It is far away from its pawn wall. If it was up there, I couldn't take it, but with it down here, I can take it, move, and then create a pawn wall, break open again.
Thank you guys for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you like chess. Check out my other videos to see pawns in action.